Hi, I'm Paul Turk, and the title of this talk is Can God's Blessings Exist in a Maximum Security Prison? All of us have had the experience of going to the shopping mall and being flagged down by a survey taker. And if we are predisposed to stop and take the survey, we soon find out that once they get an answer to the first question, many more will follow. Usually the surveys are taken by consumer product companies who want to know which products we prefer and if we have tried the product they represent. I have often thought it would be interesting to go to the mall and conduct my own survey. In my survey, the question would be, if I can give you an all-expense paid weekend to spend time with different groups, which group would you choose? On my list, I would have movie stars, star athletes, top business executives, recording artists, and a few other choices. And I would let the person being surveyed circle the group he or she selected. Included in this list at the bottom of the page would be the group prison convicts. I would then thank them for the response and say, before you go, I will show you my choice, and I would circle prison convicts. They would probably look at me like I was a crazy person, back away, and get on with their shopping thinking, well, there's another wacko for you. And if I went back to the mall the following week, I would do a different survey. In this survey, I would ask the question, if you could go on an all-expense paid weekend trip for spiritual reflection, which group would you choose to be with? And on my list, I would have various denominational and non-denominational retreats, sessions with internationally known mystics and spiritualists, as well as some other alternatives. Included in this survey, at the bottom of the page, I would have listed residents of maximum security prisons. Again, I would let them circle their choice and then show them mine. And I would have circled residents of maximum security prisons. This time, their departure may be faster than before. My point in giving you these scenarios is to show I work with a group of men as part of a prison ministry team that have enthusiastically circled prison convicts and residents of maximum security prisons. Occasionally, well-intended people say to us, gee, I could never do what you do. In fact, you could not pay me enough to do what you do, but I admire you for spending time with these unfortunate men. Many people see what we do as putting ourselves in harm's way, giving of our time to help the prisoners pass time with outsiders, with us receiving nothing in return. But the truth of prison ministry is exactly the opposite. We receive more than we give, because many of the inmates have more to give than we have to give. You may think, how can this be so? The answer is because our Kairos prison ministry retreats are attended by some convicts who have surrendered their lives to Christ and by some who are searching for ways to do so. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of the inmates would never consider coming to one of the retreats, and some come for the main reason relating to the food we bring in for them to eat with us as part of the retreats. But the prison ministry team has seen time and time again how many of the inmates' reason for being there changes during the course of a 3.5-day weekend, from physical cravings to spiritual ones. And that transformation is caused in large part by the team members bringing into the prison posters, prayer cards, and other messages from outside members of various communities across the United States and beyond that seek to encourage, inspire, and evangelize the inmates. And the prison ministry's team's time with the inmates isn't just limited to the 3.5-day weekends. Reunions take place each month on a Sunday afternoon where the team members and the inmates get to know each other better, pray with each other, and build strong Christian-based friendships. In my experience, the worse the crime committed, the longer the sentence given, the greater the potential for a full spiritual life. Lifers are not getting out of prison. They're going to die incarcerated. Their future is defined. They know there's no turning back. The only place they are going to go is heaven or hell. Their incarceration is an opportunity to decide where they wish to end up for eternity. For those that ask for God's forgiveness and dedicate their life to thanking God for his forgiveness and pray to join him in heaven, they possess a spirituality that is unmatched. We Kairos prison ministers are neophytes in the deep spiritual world many of these men occupy. And to see many of the inmates persevering in prison under very difficult circumstances is not only inspiring, but cause for reflection on how blessed we are to be with our family and friends in the outside world. That is why we receive more than we give. And that is why we choose to circle prison convicts and residents of maximum security prisons.